RWBY.
RWBY.
RWBY. RWBY. I'm sure you all have noticed the emptiness here on the couch.
It's kind of weird with just two of us.
I know. Okay, guys, we were saving this for Monday because when we recorded on Thursday, Ben wasn't available because he was sick. So we were hoping that by Monday, today, Ben would be feeling better and we'd be able to record this and just release it the day after. And then hopefully we'll get back to recording RWBY at our normal schedule. Unfortunately, that did not come to pass because Ben, unfortunately, he's been sick all week and he's been fighting it as best he can. But today, he said he wasn't feeling good at all. He was pretty much down for the count. So for him to miss a RWBY, you know things have got to be bad. I mean, but anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to be watching RWBY Volume 5, Chapter 2, Dread in the Air. Ooh, that sounds ominous. So, when we last left our heroes, and yes, you notice I didn't use the quotations because, yes, they are our heroes. I mean, RWBY, Jean, Nora, and Ren are in the school at Haven, and well, things seem bad. I mean, very bad. I mean, they're pretty much left with no other thing to do than find the Spring Maiden, and everything seems to be going bad, especially for the schoolmaster there because he pretty much seems to be completely under,
right. All their faculty / hunts people are out doing stuff, so he's the Cowardly Lion's manning the fort by himself.
Yeah, which is.
And apparently he's under somebody's thumb. Even a mustache twist.
Yes. Apparently so. And, yeah. Well, we got the episode queued up here. Let's get it on screen. Boop. Let me make sure all the audio... Oh, great. Sorry about that. Damn it. Okay. Here we go.
Are we ready?
I don't know. Are we?
Bleh.
This dude. Evil mustache twirly guy.
Oh, it's a thingy.
So Ben was right. Or was that you who mentioned that last time?
I didn't remember that being a type of Grim.
Your Grace. Are you there?
Hello, Leonardo. Do you have something to report?
Of course, ma'am. I would not waste your time if not.
I'm still just so fascinated by this creature. Cinder dear, are we coming through? Can you see us clearly? Well, as clearly as you can.
Shut up.
Oh, goody. You've recovered.
Your report. What is it?
I've found the Spring Maiden.
Is that so? Well done, Arthur. Had I known how useful you'd be in expediting this process, I would have sent you long ago.
As much as I'd love to take credit, ma'am, I can't say that either of us are to thank for this development. I guess you could say a little birdie told us.
Explain.
You see, ma'am, Crow Bronwyn arrived at Haven Academy earlier today. He believes Spring has taken residence with his sister's tribe.
Is the girl with him?
Yes, Miss Rose was in attendance.
And you know of the tribe's location?
Yes, ma'am, but you have to hurry. Crow's already at odds with my...
Leonardo, do you remember the first time we met? I remember. I remember your fear. But since that day, you've been extraordinarily brave. I won't forget all that you've done for me. Do not forget everything I can do to you. Cinder, you and your team will meet with Dr. Watts and together convince Raven Bronwyn that the survival of her people depends on her cooperation. Once you have Spring under control, escort her to the relic and contact Hazel. The White Fang was promised the destruction of Haven, and they'll have it once we have what we need.
Understood.
Not you, Arthur. Tyrion's in need of a new tale.
What happened to his old one?
Guess.
The silver-eyed girl? It will be done.
Good.
Seems Crow was right, Lionheart. Students aren't pushovers.
You're free to speak your mind.
I don't understand. Working with bandits? Keeping Ruby alive? What's the point? We're strong enough to take what we want by force.
Never underestimate the usefulness of others. Take Leonardo. He was one of Ozpin's most trusted, and yet now... You will have the power I promised you when the time is right. But remember that it comes with a cost. If Ruby Rose has learned to harness her gift, then you must take care to protect yours. There's only so much I can do to aid you. And Cinder, before you go, inform Tyrion that I wish to have a word with him.
Oh.
Pandora?
That's what I was thinking. The Hallelujah Mountains?
Nowhere good. Passing by some of Lake Matsu's floating islands. The gravity dust that forms in these things has given us a little turbulence. Nothing I can't handle, but the islands sometimes hide some nasty grim. I'm just betting on our friends in distress, keeping them preoccupied.
Look out!
You've got to be kidding me.
By the gods, we lost Percy! Help!
Oh, that looks terrible.
Oh well.
We're hooked! We're hooked! Everyone abandon ship!
Oh.
Well. Here we go.
Lancers. Freaking Lancers. Alright, buckle up!
What are you doing?
What we should have done in the first place. You're carrying dust, right?
Officially, no. Actually, yes.
Smugglers.
Then when I tell you, open the rear door.
Better make it quick. Kid,
We're cutting it close.
Open the door.
Hold on.
What was that?
We're out.
Uh-oh.
I got an idea. Hold on. Literally.
Then you do scrape them off.
That's okay.
Oof. Slingshot.
Can you find any islands we can fit between?
You are reading my mind.
Bottleneck them. Oh.
Oh no.
Yeah, great going, kid.
Thinks they might have just woken up Mother Bee.
Right, like a hive queen or something.
Probably. Excuse me. Yep.
It's a Queen Lancer!
What?
What is that? That's terrifying.
Yeah, it is.
Do something.
Oh man. So you're gonna like detonate the
whole stockpile. Here we go. Goodbye. Ouch. Oh, wow.
seriously.
That thing is...
I can see the shoreline. God, we're not gonna make.
I think she should lead with that next time.
Well, we don't know how much it costs her as far as stamina.
That's true. Phew. Crash landing. Big time.
Adam, I'm not going to repeat myself. So I want you to listen when I tell you that the White Fang will not attack Haven Academy.
High Leader Khan, I am begging you.
You should beg for forgiveness and nothing else. The assault you led on Beacon was not the great victory you clearly think it was. And you should be grateful your punishment wasn't more severe. You are a symbol for many in our organization, but that doesn't make you infallible.
I was merely trying to follow your example, High Leader.
And what example might that be?
Strength. Strength and unwavering conviction. The humans have seen that strength now.
I was one of the first to suggest violence where violence was necessary. Peace bred complacency, and acceptance of our place in the world. I will not allow humanity to push us down without pushing them back. But the destruction of the Huntsman Academies crosses a line. The loss of the CCT has brought global communication to a crawl, and the White Fang is more of a target now than ever before. You have justified humanity's campaign against us, and for what? Empty promises from a group of humans? Humans we still know nothing about, and come and go as they please. These are not examples of strength, Adam. They are examples of your talents being diminished by short-sightedness.
If you want to know more about the humans, then why not talk to one of them yourself?
Oh dear.
Hazel!
Took you long enough.
Oh, so
What
he can
is
speak.
this?
Apologies. I don't aim to cause any trouble.
You've brought a human to this location?
You should hear what he has to say.
This is
That's a big
grounds
man.
for execution.
Ma'am, please. Nobody needs to die today. I'm just asking for a moment of your time.
The longer you stay here, the less of a chance you have of leaving alive.
I'll take those chances, if you don't mind. You don't like me. You have no reason to like me. But you don't have to like me to get the results you want.
I'm starting to doubt either of you fully comprehend what it is that I want. I want humanity to fear the Faunus, to know that we demand respect. I do not want to start a war with the humans that we cannot win.
That's where you're wrong. We can win a war against the humans. Not only because we have the support of Hazel's master, but because the Faunus are the dominant species of this planet. We're better than humans. We have everything humans have and more. Humans shouldn't just fear the Faunus. They should serve the Faunus.
I've had enough of this conversation for tonight. Guards, take them away. I said take them away.
I will admit, Sienna, you were right about my popularity. My followers in Vale already see me as the true High Leader, and many here in Mistral feel the same.
What are you doing?
What's right for the Faunus. From this day forward, I will be the one to lead the White Fang.
Well, that's a coup.
If you think I'll just step aside and follow beneath you, you're wrong.
Oh.
He knows that you won't.
I know. Thank you, Sienna. You were there when our people needed you. But they need me now. I'm sorry you couldn't see this through to the end.
Man, I really don't like that guy.
He's a proper bastard.
Give our former leader a proper burial. All who are here tonight will claim that Sienna was murdered by a human huntsman. Sienna Khan will become a martyr for our cause. Her final act as High Leader.
All you need is one big lie all you need is one big lie and the body of a leader, and you can change the course of history.
When were you planning on telling me about that?
Hazel's not happy.
Of course not.
This was my business, not yours.
It's our business now, and I don't appreciate you withholding things like that.
Your master was concerned with Sienna's willingness to cooperate. Now she doesn't have to be.
Nobody needed to die today.
I disagree.
I disagree too. You deserve to die that day, Adam.
Help! Please.
What do you think?
I think
Uh-oh.
we just hit the jackpot.
Oh dear.
Raven. Well, that's not good. That's not good at all.
Not really a fan of Yang's mom right now either.
So, okay. Yeah. Well, she's never been that good of a person. I mean, she saved Yang the one time, but
Right.
even she said that was a one-time thing, and it's just like, that's your daughter. I mean, come on. Why not be there for her and help her out? But Raven's got her own priorities, and she's kind of got her own path that she wants to follow.
That had to be a weird relationship, right? Ty and Raven.
Oh, yes. Well, it's God. It's weird how relationships work sometimes. You know, I've heard opposites attract sometimes.
Right.
I think, well, maybe during that era in her life, maybe she would find someone like Tai Yang appealing to some degree. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe she wanted someone to subjugate and lord over, I guess, in a marital sense. I mean, some people are like that. Some people are possessive with their relationships instead of productive. They're possessive with their relationships, and I think Raven's a very possessive person. She chooses to be possessive of the Spring Maiden. She chooses to be possessive. If she can't control you, then I think she has no use for you. And she's a bandit too. I mean, that's what she lives for. Crow used to be a bandit too. I mean, let's not forget that. But
did he?
I think
they came from the same tribe, but were they necessarily bandits?
I think they're a tribe of bandits, and I think Crow just gave it up because he didn't like that. And
well, they all went to Beacon, didn't they? Didn't they have that? Was that picture when they were all on a team?
I think so, maybe.
I mean, they look the same though, but they were both part of the same team for a while with Ty and Summer.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. That's interesting.
It's.
That's the series I want to watch.
You want to watch the prequel series?
Yeah.
Well, they've talked about doing a RWBY prequel series that shows the formation of the teams, with Crow and Ty and Summer. They've talked about that a lot, and I think after they're done with this series, I mean, I forget how many seasons Carrie and Miles said that they had planned out for this, because I think Monty said he had an outline for up to 9 seasons. Which is really good, but that's an outline, and getting the pieces filled in all the way until the ending, that's something else entirely. So I think maybe we've got 4 or 5 more years of this in terms of the overarching story. I mean, right now the popularity of this series is as high as ever. I mean,
oh yeah,
people were just like, as a matter of fact, last year when RWBY Season 4 debuted, I think Rooster Teeth's website crashed because of the amount of traffic. And this year they were ready for it. This year they had enough server room to where they could have enough people watching. And this series just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the scope of the series keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think it's going at a comfortable enough rate to where people aren't getting lost.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are seeing the depth of the characters and the depth of the story. And if they would have done that too fast, people would have lost interest way too quickly.
Right.
But because we started out with, basic characters in the beginning, and then you add the complexities over the span of the next 2 seasons, and then you have a huge cataclysmic event that changes everything. I mean, and what I mean by that, by the end of Season 3. And then Season 4, here we are now, and you're in the world. Instead of just in this one little section, you now have the whole world opened up to you. Now, the only place I haven't seen, the only places we really haven't fully seen, we've seen Mistral, we've seen Vale, we've seen Haven. I'm interested in seeing Vacuo.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of Atlas.
Yeah.
Of course, Menagerie, but Vacuo, we haven't really.
No, we haven't seen a bit of Vacuo.
Which isn't that where, is Raven there?
No. She's in Haven as well.
Okay.
She's in
Oh, right, because Weiss was heading for Haven. Right.
Yeah, and plus they're on an outskirts of the forest. They're in their own little base. But Vacuo, I'm interested to see how that will look, and plus it's mostly desert. It's mostly desert with a few cities scattered here and there, and I'd like to see how the characters are in that environment. I mean, I think maybe Tyrion's character might be from Vacuo as well, because he's a scorpion, and
that Faunus trait would be beneficial, I guess.
Yeah, very. And man, there's just a lot of things in this big, vast, open world of Remnant, and the stories that they can tell can be huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like we were talking about the prequel stories, and who's to say they couldn't do different stories? I mean,
sure.
Who's to say that there couldn't be just a litany of just great stories? Who knows? Maybe they'll take a fanfic on one day, and they'll just be like, "We really like this. We'd like to make this like a limited run, like a 6-episode miniseries or something."
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if someone submits one popular enough, then boom, there you go. Maybe that could work. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to see. In terms of this series, I mean, it's still just beginning. I mean, I feel like maybe we're getting to that point where they're... Well, okay, we had Ruby Chibi last season as well to kind of subvert the the tragic angle of what happened at the end of Season 3,
mm-hmm.
and go with a more kid-friendly angle on a lot of things. But in terms of where the show is right now, I think its expansion, where they go from here with its expansion, can either make... well, I think the series will remain popular whether the spin-off series is popular or not. But if they do another series, then and it's good as well, I mean, there's no limit to the expansions that they can do with this entire world. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see what they're able to do and everything. It's just, God, it's a lot to absorb and a lot to take in.
I'm kind of bummed though, because we heard about Sienna Khan, pretty interesting character, and she gone.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting because as a Faunus, usually they have one trait, but she had ears and also a tiger stripe pattern all over her body.
Mm.
So we've never really seen a Faunus with that extensive of a trait feature before.
Yeah, you're right.
Which,
well,
because usually it's just some horns or some ears, or something.
Yeah, I get that, and it's. I think with over time, the more detail we're going to see more details with people with Faunus, and it's just like Blake. We weren't exposed to her ears until they brought it out in the series,
mm-hmm.
and I think now with the animation team being at the top, getting better and better and better every year, we're going to see more details with the Faunus as well. We're going to see maybe more Faunus with instead of just horns, they'll have like the facial, like the facial tics as well. You know, they got the little patterns on their faces, and maybe more body maybe more body differences as well. I mean, who knows?
I thought it was just because I thought it was mentioned at one point that they mostly resemble humans, except for like one very dominant trait.
One very well, who's to say that the dominant trait can't have multiple sources? I mean, you know, the ears. Well, I know with Sun, the tail is a big thing because a monkey's tail. I mean, that's a real big thing. Blake, I could see her having a tail to some degree, but I guess maybe they thought the ears would be enough. The ears would be enough to.
Well, that's just why I made a note of it, because I thought I remember here in the series I only usually had like one thing going on, and I would count Sienna as having two things. She had ears on top of her head and the coloration.
Yeah.
And that you hadn't really seen a Fahnholz that distinctive.
It's true. That's very true.
So, I mean, it seemed like she was, you know, special insofar as Fahnholz go, and they killed her.
Well.
So I'm bummed.
Well, yeah, she had the potential to be actually a very interesting sub-villain, because, you know, in terms of when it comes to villains who are Fahnholz, Adam's going to be the number one.
Right. Well, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call her a villain. I mean, she's a political leader, and I'm not too fond of politicians, but at the same time, Adam was going rogue with his faction, and you can tell that, yes, she had a lot of anger and she was willing to use violence, but she wasn't willing to like cross the line and go into all-out war. She just wanted basically
respect.
She just wanted them to respect their boundaries, pretty much. And then it's like, you know, association or dissociation later, we'll figure it out.
Well,
so I wouldn't classify her as like a full-on villain.
Well, wouldn't you make the comparison to how I see this in terms of a historical standpoint, in terms of real-world history? I see that like Stalin and Trotsky, because Trotsky was the favorite to be a lot of people's next leader after Lenin.
Right.
And then Stalin took over forcefully.
Right.
I mean, he pretty much forced Trotsky out of the country. And I could see that. You know, it's just like, we want this person to be the leader, but I have more people. As CGP Grey said, bigger army diplomacy.
Right.
You know, it doesn't matter how popular the person is with the people. Who's got the bigger army and who follows Rule 0. Keep the army happy. I mean, it's just how it is. I mean, that's how the world has worked for such a long time, and it's only really through things nowadays that we've actually seen more and more. I don't know. We've seen more and more resolutions than violence. We've seen more resolutions through communication than we have through prevalence, because you look at the body count throughout human history since World War II.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing compared to previous wars and everything. Nothing compared. And I think this is the symbolism of the changing of the guard that will immediately lead to the White Fang's downfall, because the White Fang's current incarnation's downfall. I think it'll be rebuilt by Blake's father and her family and everything.
Right. Well, I mean, do you think Bagheera would actually want anything to do with it? Because he did step down because he saw it getting away from his vision for it, and Blake stepped away from it because it got away from what she believed in.
Yeah, I think he will.
But it doesn't seem that under Sienna, I mean, they were willing to fight, but they weren't like making incursions like Adam and like just for the sake of like punishing people.
Yeah,
So no, I don't have anything.
I get that, and once again that speaks to regimes in the real world. You punish people for insubordination. You punish people for this and that, even though they're devoted to you. They'll follow you to hell and back. But because of one misstep, you kill them, which seems to be what Adam enjoys doing. Adam enjoys making sure that his soldiers are perfect. in which that's taxing. That's taxing on not only your soldiers, but the people who see what happens to the soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what's going to happen with Adam. He's going to start punishing people for not getting the job done, and eventually there's going to be dissent in the ranks, and someone's going to blab that he killed Khan.
Right.
I think someone's going to blab it, and that's going to immediately lead to a changing of the guard, where people have to make a choice. People have to follow Bagheera and just be like, hey, we're done with this. We want things to be better. We don't want things to get progressively worse because of aggression. Because that's where it was going. You see, when Bagheera left, that's when Khan really started taking power, and the violence got more and more prominent, and keeps going down. And now we're at Adam. It's probably at its rock bottom in terms of its I'm not going to say humanity, but in terms of its kindness and caring or what it was originally supposed to be about.
Well, I think that's what Adam believes, but here's the thing. I mean, when you make the deal with the devil, I'm not sure that Adam is fully prepared to understand what exactly he's got backing him. And I think that when that comes to light, I think he'll lose control of the White Fang, because Salem is not.
Oh, yeah.
She's obviously in a whole different league.
She is. Well, she's the supervillainess of the series. She is, as far as we know. I mean, who knows? There might be a power above her that is speaking to her and has given her the abilities and the look that she has. Who knows? But honestly, for now, for what we have from her, that is just. I mean, her presence alone. The fact that they got Cortana from friggin' the Halo series to voice her. That's another big thing for me, because that voice is very familiar to me, and to hear it with a supervillainess, it's like, whoa. Well, I know in the 5th Halo game, Cortana's kind of gone rogue and all that, in which, Halo 5, I don't want to talk about it. That's just how I feel about it. But honestly, I love this. I love the decisions that they're making with this. Once again, I agree with you. Khan could have, I think, maybe we could have seen a little bit more of her this season, and had the betrayal. I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 episodes in. But it's their series. I have faith in what they're doing, and I guess we'll just have to see how all this pans out by the end of the series, by the end of this seasonal run. But I like this episode. This episode, we actually didn't get to see Ruby or Yang at all. I mean, that to me is a big thing, because it's, the title of the show's RWBY, and Ruby's not here. There's been a lot of episodes like that. There's been a lot of episodes that, but
I think they had a purpose for doing that.
Oh, absolutely. I believe that too. And I think they're using these episodes very well. The character building episodes and the lore, and the lore episodes. I'm not really seeing many filler episodes anymore with this series, in which I like that. Don't get me wrong, filler's good every now and again when you need a breather, but this, I love with lore-based shows that stay on point. I guess we'll have to see if they stay on track with this, or if we'll have maybe a filler episode or two with different things happening. All right, so we're gonna end this, and we're gonna have to get to some Ganados killing. So Agent Micah will be taking that on, and if you're watching this, now, I guess you're getting a little bit of introspective into what time it is and everything. So I guess we'll see you later, everybody. I'm Nate.
Micah.
And if you want to see the original video, link in the description down below. Check out Rooster Teeth and all their stuff. We'll see you later, everybody. Peace out.